about now, you get catapulted in as the UFO authority. You're invited abroad. Tell me about the Europe's reaction or Soviet Union's reaction and how you were treated and who you met, etc. If you could maybe just give me a brief overview of, say, when you went to Europe.
I've even been on TV in China.
Okay.
In this flight, a filming that was done here was sold to China, and they had somebody speaking Chinese for me. Also, same thing up in Montreal. I'm speaking French. No matter where I go, I'm speaking the native
And
Japanese.
They're just dubbing in the voice.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say that this phenomena is worldwide, or is it just the interest is worldwide, or have you heard from all remote parts of the earth of people recounting similar incidents to yours? How would you describe this phenomenon?
Well, it's worldwide, naturally. Like, I mentioned that my son was retired Navy. Well, he was stationed in Japan for many, many years, and he had a Japanese wife. And then he got transferred to this country, and this was in the 60s. And she brought with her publications about UFOs from Japan. And I still have them.
Wow.
And half the article is in Japanese, and the other half is in English.
Huh.
Yeah.
So let's look at the UFO phenomena. They're increasing. The government obviously doesn't know what they are, and that's why they're coming to Betty Hill, first-hand witness. They're trying to learn just as much as everybody else. So the government has to tap into the UFO subculture and the UFO researchers as to gleaning information. That brings up my next thing about Roswell. UFO crashes. I have the opinion that there are either no flying saucer crashes or there's an entire litany. You can't have just one. What's your take on UFO crashes and on Roswell?
My opinion, that one UFO crashed because a little lieutenant came out and made a public statement. And no little lieutenant comes out all by himself and does that. He's got to be cleared from the top.
We're talking about Walter Hout, the press information officer at Walker Field and Roswell Army Air Base.
And he came out and said it, and so it happened. Then the Pentagon came in and said, oh, no, 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 no.
No, 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 meaning you shouldn't have said that, or no, 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 you're totally wrong.
You see,
Let's forget about
let's take a good look at the American public. If they came out and said UFOs are flying here, everybody would be saying, they're violating our airspace. Shoot them.
Right.
If you don't like them, you don't understand them, you kill them, right?
That's right.
That's the American way of life. I really think the government is protecting UFOs.
Well, let's go take one step further. The government, I think the window of opportunity for disclosure of UFOs' existence by the government has closed, and like you said, because the public would say they've been flying in our airspace all along. The next Congressional Defense Budgetary hearing, they'd slash line item after line item and cut their budgets, number one. So there is no defense against them. They have not shown to be an aggressive phenomenon. Right. They could have shot down our fighters. We have the Thomas Mantell case. We have a case in Australia, the Valentich case, where people unfortunately encountered UFOs and disappeared or had some sort of craft malfunction. These instances are going to happen. Hence, that the
case in Australia. A friend of mine was in Australia when that happened.
The Valentich case, 1975 or 76.
A friend of mine was in Australia when this happened, and actually met with the parents of this man. I think he was 19 years old, 20, something like that. So now we're out in the area where the UFOs are, and we're yelling to them and asking them to bring them back to us.
And you were asking, pleading to bring them back.
And they're actually coming right in close to us, like they were trying to hear what we were saying.
Well, so you are a center or focal point, or somehow you tend to attract UFOs. Is that if Betty Hill wants to see a UFO and puts her mind to it, UFOs will come?
No. But sometimes I say that I think it's almost like a atmospheric change of some kind. I can be sitting here, and I can UFO go over the window, and there it is.
Okay, so you have a feeling. There's something, an urging.
Maybe it disturbs the air currents or something in a way that I recognize.
Just briefly, back to Roswell. So your take on Roswell is, did that incident happen or not, or is the point moot? It's not even worth discussing.
Oh, I think a UFO crashed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I think it was recovered. No, I don't know if bodies were recovered or not,
Well,
but I think a craft was.
well, if bodies weren't recovered, it was either A, remote controlled, or B, they were picked up by a safety rescue flying saucer.
It could have been, okay, because we had a UFO crash here
Where's here?
in my area.
In southern New Hampshire.
And I went out there and all the people running, UFO crashed. Oh, maybe we ought to call the military. Maybe we ought to call the police. And I said, no, go home and leave them alone. If it crashed and there's anybody alive on it, let the others come in and rescue them.
Can I ask you where this happened and when?
Very close to the picture.
Southern
of
New Hampshire again, that's
Yeah.
all we'll get. But what time, what year, it's something like this. And does CSETI know about this, that has a catalog of flying saucer crashes?
This was never reported.
And guess what
And
year?
the next day, I went out with a neurosurgeon from Pease Air Force Base, thinking that if it crashed, and if one was killed, they might have left the body behind. And we searched the whole area. Because if we could find the body, we're going to bring it back and put it in my freezer.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to do an autopsy.
Oh.
And then we were going to call the whole world to come in and see it.
That's right. Ray Santilli included, the British guy who.
But we didn't find any bodies.
So.
But we did find where it crashed.
What year was it?
I don't know.
60s, 70s?
70s, I would
70s.
say.
Okay, so do you remember when the people were coming running out of the woods? Did you see any object impacted? Did you see any
I didn't see
glow?
no, but what happened is when the UFO, okay, this man is stopped at a stop sign.
Mm-hmm.
And the UFO came crashing right straight down, just missed his truck.
Mm-hmm.
And then it went along through the woods and it cut the trees right off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this place probably 25 feet wide. And this is what everybody's running after the UFO, following where all these trees are crashing down. And that's when I got them all to come back and go home and forget it.
So, UFO crashes are frequent then?
Well, I think probably quite often a craft malfunctions. And then they get out and you repair it and take off.
Do you think the military has ever shot down a UFO? Leah Haley in Pensacola, Florida, claims to have been on board and abducted by a UFO that was shot down by an electromagnetic pulse beam weapon by the United States Air Force in Eglin Air Force Base. You don't buy that at all?
No. I know that they shot a piece off from a UFO.
Mm-hmm.
And they send it outside this country to be analyzed.
Mm-hmm.
And the scientists in that country were not able to analyze it. And so the scientists took it and packed it away up in his attic. And in 1975, the CIA called and said, send it back. So they had to go up in the attic. It's sputtering. Got to go up there and go through all those boxes, get that damn piece out, send it back.
Mm-hmm. Parts are coming forward now to the International UFO Museum in Roswell, some claiming to be of extraterrestrial origin. Some has been traced back to just a China or pottery maker in Denver, Colorado. I saw the pieces of debris. It looked to be some sort of piece off a bumper of a Volkswagen, in my opinion.
Oh.
You've got the charlatans, the hoaxers, that are going to come forward and say that this is a piece of a UFO when it is indeed is not. And then you have other pieces of material that have an odd metallurgy to them, an odd atomic and isotopic structure. So what you're saying...
Oh, I've had stuff analyzed that I've picked up from UFOs.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the stuff, no matter what it looks like or feels like, the puzzling thing is it dissolves in water. That they can't figure out.
Mm-hmm. Almost... Is it gelatin-like substance?
Oh, no, it just falls apart. And it melts like.